Washington football. Woo! Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Burgundy Zone. You are stepping into the Situation Room. I am your host, Kyle, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Michael Hall and Michael Reed. We'll be going live throughout the NFL Draft. Right now, currently, the Colts have just selected Anthony Richardson, number 4. At number 3 went, I think, Will Anderson. Then number 2 was C.J. Stroud. So the Texans traded back up to number 3 after selecting C.J. Stroud at number 2, which is absolutely crazy. And then number 1, Bryce Young went. Not very surprised by Bryce Young going, but obviously the Texans moving up was obviously huge. But during this breakdown of the NFL Draft, as we lead up to the Commanders pick, we're going to be joined by numerous amounts of guests here. We're going to have Nick Akridge join us from Pro Football Focus, and then Corey Sanchez from On the Warpath is going to be joining us. Something we've done in the past on Draft Night is with Corey, so hopefully it brings more good fortune. But boys, what is your reaction to pick number 3?
The pick 3, I think it's crazy that they traded back up. I want to touch on pick 4, though. Marley texted me that Anthony Richardson probably has the easiest time flossing because he has a gap between every one of his teeth.
That's so messed up.
His tongue looks like it's in jail.
I'll tell you, dude, I'm very surprised. Because a lot of people were just talking about how Hendon Hooker was considered, the number 3 quarterback in this draft class, or the number 2. And obviously Jim Irsay, we talked about this stumbling up to the podium and taking this pick with Anthony Richardson. It looks like that is the case. They're going to get their guy. They've swung and missed on numerous quarterbacks in the past. Hopefully, Anthony Richardson, it all works out for him there. I just wonder what their offense is going to do
Colts
now.
Don't miss on any quarterbacks in the draft, though. I mean, dude, they have Peyton, Andrew Luck.
It makes sense that, like I said, the Eagles offensive coordinator, he's coming from working with Jalen Hurts, kind of that RPO offense, kind of that run-first scheme. You got Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. Let's see if the offensive line can get built a little bit better and bounce back. Let's improve the weapons a little bit. You got Michael Pittman. But, I mean, if they want to be one of those, like, kind of Philadelphia run-first teams and just pound the football, RPO type style, it's a great pick for the Colts.
Yeah. Dude, if you hit on Anthony Richardson, like, that dude's ceiling is insane.
You would love to hit on Anthony Richardson.
I would pay him.
Speaking
of hitting on somebody, Nick Akridge is here. My friend Nick Akridge, not your guy's friend, my friend Nick Akridge, who was very hard on himself earlier, and I didn't appreciate that. Don't be mean to my friends.
I'm a very self-deprecating individual. So.
Yeah, don't be mean to my friends, bro. Be mean to Kyle all you want. I don't give a shit.
Nick, obviously you being from Pro Football Focus, we got to talk about this draft class altogether. Anthony Richardson, I know you're kind of like a Tennessee fan, if I'm not mistaken. So kind of talk to me about the quarterbacks as of late. Were you surprised by C.J. Stroud going number 2 to the Texans?
No, not at all. I mean, this is kind of – I would have taken Richardson before Stroud. I'm a big Richardson guy. But no, I don't have any problems with Stroud. Bryce Young was the clear number 1, I thought. But, yeah, I think you have to get your quarterback, and it's just kind of what you prefer at that quarterback position when it comes to picking that high. So I have no problem with the Texans picking second. I think they're crazy for trading right back up. But and then Colts to Richardson is incredible. I love that for him.
You get your franchise quarterback and possibly a franchise edge rusher, though. I mean, those are two of the
most. Yeah, but you give up a lot.
No, I know they gave up way too much. I'm just saying if they end up hitting on both of those guys, though, it's going to be like Kyle at a weekend on the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Guys.
Do you have a prediction for the Seahawks at pick number 5, Nick?
I would say I would think it's Jalen Carter.
Yeah, that's what I would.
That's what I would do.
Yeah,
makes the most sense.
I don't know, like, off of the field stuff, how they feel about all that, but that's what I would do.
So right now, Ian Rappaport is tweeting that Illinois cornerback Devin Witherspoon is going number 5 to the Seattle Seahawks.
Damn. Well, hey.
Excuse me?
Adding him to Kobe Bryant.
We thought it was going to be Detroit. We thought that was a good fit for Detroit. Now, this is going to be huge, absolutely huge, because
Jalen Carter is a good fit for the Lions as well.
Yeah, but they also could go Christian Gonzalez. They just let go of Jeff Okudah, right? Yeah. But, Nick, before we move forward anymore, I want to get your opinion on the Commanders not picking up Chase Young's 5th-year option. Do you think this means the end of the road for Chase Young in a Commander's uniform? There's been speculation he could possibly be traded this evening. What is your feeling with that? The Commanders not picking up his option.
I don't know. I think they're just kind of they want him to play it out and kind of basically put him on a prove it year. I mean, there's a lot that's happened these past year, or there's little that's happened with him on the field, basically. But I mean, I think you just it's tough to pick up that 5th-year option when he's played a year and not even a half, really. I mean, so like, I think they're just kind of wanting him to prove it. And I think if he proves it and goes out there and has a great year, I think they get a long-term deal done with him, because I think the talent's through the roof. We saw it his rookie year. Just got to get over that nasty, nasty injury.
All right, now let's talk about pick 16. Nick, obviously we know what the picks are, 1 through 5 up until this point. Devin Witherspoon, as of late, going to the Seattle Seahawks. What do you think Washington should do at 16? You've heard the names like Matt Miller talking today, saying that cornerback Emmanuel Forbes or Deontay Banks could be high on the Commanders' list at 16. Then you've heard others like Ben Standig from locally saying Darnell Wright from Tennessee could be the guy at 16. What is your feeling there? Are you leaning towards offensive line, or you think a corner maybe?
My ideal scenario is a trade down. I think that's everyone's ideal scenario, but it's tough nowadays and these years to get people to trade back up with you. There's just too much evidence showing that if you're trading up and you're not getting a quarterback, it's just kind of a waste of assets. So they're still sitting there at 16. I think you go best available tackle or corner. That's kind of what I would go. I would be okay with either of those. I mean, I haven't studied any of these guys yet, because every time I try to do this pre-draft, I always get it wrong of who they would pick, and I just end up wasting time. So decided to wait till after the draft.
Well, right,
yeah, so it's just not even worth it at that point. So just wait until after the draft, do it then, and then I can argue with people.
That kind of happened. That kind of happened last year with Jahan Dotson. Everybody was thinking Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Drake London. They had Olave.
That's exactly.
They traded.
I didn't even watch Dotson pre-draft. I watched, like you said, Olave, Garrett Wilson, all those other guys first, and then after the draft, I'm like, what? Just did all that for nothing. So
is there a sneaky pick that you think the Commanders could make there? I see a lot of people mocking Dalton Kincaid and things of that nature. Do you see any of that happening?
That'd be interesting. Washington's needed a tight end for a long time. It's the past couple of years, tight ends in the first round or so, it hasn't been that big of a hit. And it takes a while for tight ends to really develop. So unless you really love a guy, it's tough to kind of go 16 for a tight end, but I would be open to it. I'm honestly open to a lot. I'm open to anything but running back. I'm team anything but running back.
Bijan?
Yeah, the big difference between you
How do you feel about
Reed
edge rusher at
back,
16?
apparently.
Yeah, edge rusher.
It would be annoying, because like you've invested all of this money into the defensive line, and then you don't give Chase your 5th-year option, and you have Montez, and it just, I don't know. It would be very, very weird. I'm tired of picking defensive line. It's just getting annoying.
So Ian Rappaport is just tweeting that the Arizona Cardinals are trading with the Lions for the 6th overall
Paris Johnson,
pick.
Don't they? Either Paris Johnson or Christian Gonzalez. I would imagine, but probably Paris Johnson. Kyler's got to be begging for O-line help.
He has to be. Hall, do you have a question for Nick?
Man.
Yeah,
I just asked him about
oh, my bad.
16, picking 16. I mean, D-line is 16.
I got you. My bad. My fault. Now, Nick, my question for you, next one. Jahan Dotson, obviously, we talked about it before, that it kind of ruffled everyone's feathers when that pick was made. There are a lot of people that were confused by it. Is there a prospect that you feel is the Jahan Dotson of this draft? He doesn't necessarily have to be drafted by Washington, but just somebody that the consensus believes he's a second rounder, and somebody you think have heard that has first-round grades.
I would think Hendon Hooker would be that guy. Just kind of speaking of quarterbacks and just people I've studied. Like I've watched these top 5 quarterbacks pretty diligently, and I mean, like you said earlier, I'm a huge Tennessee fan, diehard Tennessee fan. Love what Hooker did for us, but I don't see him as a day 2 prospect. I think he's a day 3 prospect. The age, the injury, and he showed nothing in the Tennessee offense that shows that he can really progress through full field reads, and that's just the nature of the offense. It's not saying that he can't do it. He just never had the chance to show it. So yeah, that's the kind of thing that I would be really shocked at if he goes in the first round. Even Will Levis, I didn't think Will Levis was a first round guy either. Yeah.
He puts
Speaking of Will
I
Levis,
wish I knew more about other prospects outside of quarterbacks, but
puts mayo in his
just
coffee.
didn't have the time this year.
I like that you only scouted quarterbacks. I think
I
it's a
do
good
too.
look for you.
I'm kind of I'll turn into a quarterback expert here soon.
You kind of
speaking
are.
of Will Levis, how far do you think he slides since he's kind of dropping down the board as of right now?
He has to be a shoe-in pick with Tennessee, right? I mean,
Raiders picked before them, man.
that's true.
Yeah, you could see the Raiders, you could see Tennessee, you could see Green Bay. You could see
Imagine that fan base if they did that.
Yeah, no, he could. I think if he gets past the Raiders, I think he could slide quite a bit, unless you see a team kind of trade up for him. But yeah, I think the Raiders would kind of be
The
where he would
Bucks,
go.
maybe the Bucks. Bucks apparently really liked him
Yeah.
and Richardson.
I could see
That
that.
would make a lot of sense. They did
Yeah.
draft Kyle
Mhm.
Trask. They like that sort of
Ugh.
quarterback. Sorry,
Well,
Reed, you got
what,
something?
what state is it legal to put mayonnaise in coffee, and where are you allowed to eat bananas with the peels on it? Because Will Levis is a sick human being. That is not tight. But no, I mean, so what if Jalen Carter? I know a lot has been made about him falling because of these legal issues, but like now that I thought he was almost a shoo-in to go 5 to Seattle, what other teams could you see possibly looking at trading up for somebody like that?
The Bears. I
Yeah.
think if he makes it to the 9th pick, I think it's the greatest draft they've ever had.
Damn.
Because you get out of that first pick and you get all of
Right.
that talent. You get DJ Moore, you get all of those picks, and then you still have arguably the best player in the draft fall to
Right.
you at 9. I feel like that would be the greatest scenario ever for him.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, any team could take him and he would instantly be one of the best players on their team.
I got you. Now, Nick, my next question for you. Last year, there was a lot of speculation about a quarterback named Malik Willis, and fans were saying that he could possibly go number 2 overall. He ended up going in the second or third round, if I'm not mistaken, and it's been speculated that he could possibly be moved this offseason by the Tennessee Titans, and they're in the quarterback market, which is not a good look for Malik Willis, which leads me to my question, Nick. Who is the Malik Willis of this draft class? Doesn't necessarily have to be a quarterback, but just somebody you think maybe is all. There's a lot of talk and not a lot of product behind it.
God, you're really going to make me do this to Hendon Hooker, aren't you?
Yeah.
Man, I think it's him. I hate it so
Really?
much. He was the first quarterback I watched because I wanted to fall in love with him, but I just knew I wouldn't. It's similar to Matt Corral. I mean, you saw it last year with Corral. He's got all of those, the tools and all that sort of stuff, but the offense is so vanilla. It's so
Right.
easy for him.
You see the Cardinals in number 6. They take offensive tackle Paris Johnson.
No,
Mhm.
yeah, that makes too much sense, man. Kyler was apparently begging him for Paris Johnson.
Still, trading up is crazy, man. If you're not trading up for a quarterback, there's so much evidence out there saying that trading up for anyone other than a quarterback is just
Right.
a waste of picks.
Yeah. And it's
Yep.
not
Because
like
you have to have this tackle basically be better than 2-3 other players compared to just
Right.
the one. And the only player or position that can do that is the quarterback.
right, and it's not like these offensive linemen are graded terribly far apart. Like you could still get
No.
a pretty good offensive lineman at pick 12 where they were, but I
Yeah.
don't know, man. That's tough.
And now, Nick, to wrap this up, only a couple more questions for you. But obviously, we heard the news with the option not being picked up for Chase Young, Shaka Toney suspension for this year coming into effect. Edge rusher. Do you feel like that could be the pick that was almost like defensive tackle last season, where we're all thinking maybe it's in the middle rounds, but they end up getting one in the second round, surprising us with it?
Yeah, no, I can see that. I mean, they've needed the depth. I mean, they struggled last year with no Chase Young. Montez Sweat had a great year, but they had nobody else opposite side of him. And we just saw they didn't pick up Chase's 5th-year option. And if he's not healthy and he's back to his rookie of the year caliber, then you need someone there. I mean, and Montez Sweat isn't locked up for next year. So, like, you need some more depth there. So, yeah, I could definitely see it in the second round. It wouldn't be the sexy pick. It wouldn't be the fun pick, but it's a type of pick that you definitely would need.
And Nick, just to piggyback off that, what do you think is like the biggest separation for Chase Young? Obviously, in college, production was there, and in the NFL, obviously, it's an entirely different animal. But this is still the same guy who came into the NFL and is still a freak of nature. What is the separation between that production in college and the NFL?
Yeah, it's just his relying on his athleticism. I mean, in college, you could get away with it. His burst is just beating 90% of tackles in college. Like you're just going to beat him with just straight speed and getting around the edge on them. You're not going to do that in the NFL. So you have to kind of work off that speed move, throw some counter moves in there. And it's a chess match out there. You can't just keep coming with the same thing over and over again and expect to win. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done to kind of get better at that part. But you're always going to bet on somebody with his sort of athleticism to kind of figure it out and just kind of rely on that. And sometimes he just needs to just put his ears back and just go. I mean, like sometimes he's in his own head too much, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it got a little weird last year and whatnot. So
Yeah, what Kyle has tattooed on his chest is, if you don't put your ear to the ground, you'll never hear the buffalo coming. So I think Chase should live by
That's
that.
a long tattoo, man.
Yeah, I know. How much did
it's
it
a
cost?
massive tattoo.
Yeah.
That was expensive, man. I saved up my whole life for it, apparently. My goodness. But Nick, excuse me if I'm mistaken, but your favorite at pick 16, just straight up player.
Ideal scenario, somebody that's still on the board.
All right, I'm going to give my Tennessee fans back. Darnell Wright.
Yeah,
Really?
that's
It
my
is
king.
Darnell.
That's my king.
I think, again, I got to do – I should have done more research just kind of with the names hovering around there. But I think he's going to be a solid player in the NFL for a long time. And I think when you're picking 16, that's just kind of what you want. You're not kind of really looking for that, that all-pro player. You're kind of looking for someone who can be a reliable player for your team for the next decade. And I think he can do that. If you put on the tape against Will Anderson, the number 3 pick, dominated him. I mean, the Tennessee offense again did lead to his numbers being a bit inflated, especially with our PFF stuff, because there's a lot of plays where he's not really having to do much because the ball is out in less than a second. But if you kind of filter out the tapes of pure pass plays and whatnot, where he has to go through a real drop set, it's pretty impressive stuff. So I would like that a lot. But I think ideal is trade down.
Yeah, his tape versus Will Anderson, so many things were shown on there that really does translate to the NFL, and that's why I really
he's a bully too.
Yeah, he is, and that's why there's 3 guys I've circled that I think that would be perfect fits, and obviously Darnell Wright is one of them. But aren't you a Tennessee fan?
Yeah,
Die hard.
Yeah.
So did Darnell play? Where else has he played on the offensive line, just in the past, if you can remember?
Didn't
He played left. Yeah, he played left tackle the year before, and then went back to right tackle. I think they were just more comfortable with him at right over than putting anyone else there and have other more natural left tackles.
And he was like a 5-star recruit, wasn't he?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he was like the top offensive tackle his year.
Yeah, I think he was from West Virginia, the state of West Virginia. I don't know.
God. So that means his parents are kissing cousins. Usually
Okay.
That's what that means.
He said, "Okay."
Nick, one more question. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Bud Light scandal? I'm just kidding. What if that's what I asked you?
Well, pull out my Bud Light.
What are your thoughts on Kid Rock emptying an entire mag into a whole bunch of Bud Lights?
Did that happen? No way that happened. Nick, last question I have for you, sir.
All with the ball, Kyle. Come on, dog.
Last question I have for you. Let's say that that Devin Witherspoon obviously already gone. Christian Gonzalez is gone. When 16 comes up, I know you said you wanted to trade back, but let's say Darnell Wright is off the board. Let's say those 2 corners are off. If you have to go corner, who's somebody you really like in this draft class?
I guess it would kind of have to be Emmanuel Forbes after that, right? I mean, again, he's kind of the Bryce Young of corners this year, where he is just such an outlier when it comes to size, but his on-the-field play kind of showed that maybe the size isn't that big of a deal. So have to dive into that tape too. I'm just excited, man. Once we finally get a pick, I can get back into football. I missed it for a while. So
I'm excited that
I
you're
think
back on
Forbes.
Twitter.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Yeah,
no one is.
I know Nick has taken some time off from football up until the drive, so I'm always grateful for your time as always, Nick. I really do appreciate you for stopping by, being able to talk to us a little bit, giving us some insight into these prospects and everything. I really do appreciate you, brother. Go and enjoy the draft, and hopefully we're all celebrating when the 16th overall comes around.
Yep. Appreciate it, guys. Sorry, Hendon Hooker, if you're watching. I still love you.
I'm sure he's not.
Fan of the show. Fan of the show.
All right,
See you
Nick.
guys.
Peace, dude.
See you, Nick.
All right, everybody. We just spoke with the man, Mr. Nick Akridge.
Yeah, love Nick. He's, the guy gets it.
He absolutely does get it. You're right. Now,
Yeah,
let's
I'm
get
always
into
right, Kyle.
some fan questions before we get into any further. But do you guys have anything to say about what Nick just said with Darnell Wright? And, I feel like DeJuan Jones is being overlooked, and I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
No, I think you're. I mean, I think that he's almost like a perfect candidate for like a Jahan Dotson type move. This year, where
Tyree Wilson with the Raiders.
the Raiders. Damn. Okay. Titans are sitting there grinding their chops or whatever it's called, licking their dicks. What's it called? Licking their chops. licking their chops. They're all pumped. They're like, we might.
What's up?
we
What are
might
you
get the
thinking
bullet.
about?
I'm thinking about a
With
lot.
Tyree Wilson.
Dude, have you seen his body type though?
Okay.
So they're not taking Christian Gonzalez. First of all, do you see? Is he on your screen? Weirdest mouth I've ever seen on a human being. Can you see that?
So they took Tyree Wilson at 7. Wow.
Kyle, you got to see this.
Who was at 8? Remind me.
Atlanta.
Oh yeah, that is Atlanta. I
Is
think
that
you.
not one of the top 3 weirdest mouths you've ever seen on a human? I don't know. I think it's weird.
I think it's weird that you notice how big people's mouths are. Maybe your
I'm not
mouth
saying
isn't
it's
big
big.
enough.
It's
Actually,
not.
no, that's not
It's
true. Let me
actually
bring
not.
that back.
No, a lot of people tell me that. Not for the reason that you think. But
Let me bring it.
because I can't fit. Never mind.
This is getting out of hand. Sorry, guys. This is not your normal draft night, everybody. But I appreciate you guys for sticking around with us. So number 7, who do we think that the Raiders are going to go with?
They just picked Tyree Wilson.
Yeah, they just picked
Oh,
Tyree
I'm
Wilson,
tripping. I thought that
apparently.
was number 6 for some reason. Now, who do you think Atlanta's going to go with, Hall?
Bijan. Oh, Hall.
I think they're gonna go with Bijan or they go with Christian Gonzalez.
Dude, yeah. Oh, yeah. So they could go either Christian Gonzalez, maybe even Jalen Carter. Dude, they've pumped up that defense so much that like they're missing one piece maybe. But Akuda trade, that makes it tough.
Yeah, they got
But,
AJ
yeah.
Terrell. They got Jeff Okuda.
Yeah.
That's true. I
They
forgot
have
about
Grady
that. But
Jarrett. But
they didn't
adding
even pick
Grady
up. They
Jarrett
didn't
with
pick up
Jalen Carter
Akuda's.
would be disgusting.
Yeah.
They didn't pick up Akuda's option, so technically,
That's
I
true.
mean, they could
Yeah, and plus
walk away
Akuda's
from him after this year.
Akuda, I would imagine, would be playing inside, and I mean AJ Terrell and Christian Gonzalez on the outside. That's pretty goddamn good.
But in the NFC South, do you really need it?
Yeah, Kyle.
I mean,
Bryce Young,
Baker Mayfield. What? Are
Baker
you joking
Mayfield,
Derek
yeah,
Carr?
Derek
What?
Carr. You?
Do you remember when we wanted Derek Carr?
I won't.
Yeah,
I will not tolerate
Do you remember
Derek Carr
that?
slander.
Yeah,
I will not tolerate Derek Carr slander.
Still better
When he
than
throws for
anything we've
30
had.
plus touchdowns, people are gonna be like, "Damn, I wish we had 30 plus touchdowns here." I'm just saying.
Get him, get him. Tell him to stop.
You
Shut up,
stop.
dude.
You stop.
Shout out to you guys on the YouTube and the live chat. Tony Franchise, Tony Shivers.
Bro, you
Appreciate
sounded
Roger
70.
Arthur. Appreciate you, brother.
Shout out to you guys on the YouTube.
It's
How old
I
are
was
you?
lit,
going to
no
say in
cap.
the YouTube comments, we don't go live often, okay? Can I
No,
give
I
a
know.
shout out to our people on over here? Because how
Yeah,
many times do I see our actual show go premiere and I see people commenting and I can't actually it's not like we could say in the video, hey, what's up, dude?
This is pre-recorded.
Right.
Giving you guys all our.
I know. So now
secret.
for the first time we can do it. So we can see you guys. What's up, everybody? We really appreciate you guys for stopping by and being here with us because we are excited about this pick coming up. I just hope it was sooner rather than later. But Lord knows it's going to be midnight by the time it comes around. Like this is a damn boxing match.
Actually, Tank versus Ryan, that happened fairly fast.
Wasn't it like at 1 a.m.?
No, it was way before that. They had like 4 matches
Yeah.
on the card, and the match beforehand it ended in
Might have been
first round
before like
knockout.
12, honestly. Right around
It
12.
was. It was. It started at like 10 or something.
Yeah.
I don't watch, dude. I'm too
Yeah.
busy, you know. I
Look
gotta
at Will Levis,
yeah.
like,
Kyle
man.
doesn't. Kyle
Sorry,
doesn't
I don't watch
like to
WWE.
Kyle doesn't like to watch big sweaty guys fight.
Not since
Bullshit.
Kimbo Slice passed away, R.I.P.
Dude,
My
R.I.P. Yeah, no, he was taking souls. He was like John Allen.
Dude, Hall hated that guy.
John Allen?
No,
No.
I didn't. I love
Hitler.
Kimbo Slice.
Nah,
What are
he
you
hated
talking about?
Kimbo, bro.
Why? would
Ooh,
you
like I
hate him?
said, Bijan Rabizin.
Oh, he
Yeah.
went. He
Oh.
went to the Falcons.
Dude,
Mhm.
him and that little
He's the perfect Arthur Smith running back.
yeah, him and Alter. How the fuck do you pronounce his name? The running back that they took last year, the rookie, who's really good.
Allergy.
Yeah, dude, those two
That's-
together.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay,
What?
guy.
What?
He tried to pronounce his last name.
Oh,
It was
come,
like,
come on. Yeah, you got to be respectful to the other communities, Hall.
You have to be
That's true.
accepting.
I apologize
Yeah.
to the
gotta be-
Alulu Juju family.
Thank you. Yeah, we're allies. We are all allies with Ala Juju.
Everyone is very upset right now Bijan Robinson goes number 8 overall to Atlanta Falcons.
Somebody's got to check on Keith. Make sure he's good out there at the draft.
And Telly. No,
if you hear somebody scream,
look, that's why I put
Keith
Bijan,
might run on stage like
That's why I put Bijan on my list today because, like, look, we can talk all day about not necessarily being a need for Washington, but
he's
the
so
fact
good.
is that is one hell of a player.
Oh yeah,
and that regardless of the issues that he would cause, you'd be excited about him having the rock in his hands.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would have been blown. They would have took him at 16 because it's like there was other needs, but at the same time, it's like, all right, well now if we don't have like a top half of the league offense at this point, there's some type of conspiracy going on in Washington where our offense is just never going to be good.
Right? Yeah.
It's like the Wizards with poor defense. Everybody's there coming in to fix the defense. It just never happens.
And they do the opposite, right?
Speaking of other DC teams on fire lately, have you seen the Nats pitching? Bro, Josiah Gray and Gore, they are killing it now.
Right now we're doing the NFL draft read.
I'm just saying. You're just saying.
Another time,
bro.
Just saying. Another time.
This used
to be Frank Gore. What are you talking about?
You don't see me walk around talking about NFL draft.
Frank Gore's a pitcher for the Nationals.
When you're on the
the Nationals now.
Yeah. See, he is. He was, and he became a boxer as well. I heard.
Who?
Frank Gore. He tried to box. Didn't he box AP? No,
he did.
wasn't. No. Le'Veon Bell boxed AP.
Yeah.
Frank Gore boxed somebody else.
He boxed somebody.
Yeah.
Didn't Le'Veon Bell?
It was wasn't it an NBA player? Yeah, Le'Veon Bell's really good at boxing. Le'Veon Bell just won a fight this past weekend. I
forget who he fought, but he fought somebody.
Yeah, Frank Gore fought somebody and got KO'd.
Yeah,
it was funny. Knockouts are always funny.
I always root for Frank Gore, man. He's an
so do I. Oh,
tank,
awesome
man.
Dude. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Still,
he should go. He should get in the Hall of Fame at some point.
No, I'm just kidding. He can fight, just not against Le'Veon Bell. We got to stop this. He's drafted.
He didn't even fight Le'Veon Bell.
My car.
Well, this is great content. I'm sure people.
Dude, I'll never forget that Fred Smoot interview. I mean, literally, we were laughing the entire time.
Yeah, Fred was funny as shit.
Oh my goodness, it was such a great time.
Speaking of which, man, I'd like to get his opinions on Emmanuel Forbes being a former Mississippi.
So that's his guy. He loves him.
I know it's his guy. I'm just saying, like, I would like to talk to him.
So do you remember when we interviewed him? And I was like, "So Fred, who do you want at 11?" And he was like, "Who's that linebacker from Georgia?" he kept saying it. Oh, Nakobe Dean. And I was like, "All right, but what about wide receiver?" He's like, "No, man." No. All right, what about this wide receiver? He's like, no. And finally, I fed up. And I was like, well, who do you want, Fred?
Right.
You know? He was like, well, who's that? Oh, just give me basically, I wanted to ask him, I was like, do you just want a Southern DB? Like, is that all you want?
Give me the best Mississippi State player.
Because he was like, I don't want anybody from the Pac-12. No, I don't want anybody from the Big Ten. They don't know how to play up there. I was like, so you're dwindling down the list, Fred. This is not fair to the Commanders right now.
That was funny. It's always funny listening to Fred Smoot talk about anything. He kept saying that he didn't want anybody. He wanted somebody that was going to go in there.
The Eagles have traded up one spot. They were on the clock.
They traded up with the Bears. That dude, they want to pair Jalen Carter with. They're scared.
Yeah, Jalen Carter himself said that he slides down within the top 10, back half. That the Eagles are going to come up to get him. So
they would Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter.
Dude, Georgia did too. Look what happened with them.
We got the Alabama wall. They got the Georgia wall.
Yeah, whose wall's better right now? Fuck. I'm just kidding. Guys, don't be mean.
And that would make a lot of sense as to why we need to beefing up the offensive line if that is the case, if I'm being honest.
No, 100%, dude. That's
No, they're getting Jalen Carter. They're going to draft Jalen Carter.
Yeah, 100%. That's they apparently wanted Paris Johnson or him, and he's the one there, and that's a need for them.
Dude, they have a legit offense now. The Falcons do. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts.
At this point, Christian Gonzalez legitimately might fall to Washington.
Son, if he does, I'm gonna do backflips because everyone's been saying that the Eagles would swipe him up immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me excited, Hall. Don't break my heart, man.
I mean, who else is? I mean,
I don't think
look at the teams in front
he'd
of
get
us.
past the Patriots. I think Bill would scoop him up with the quickness.
Their defense is set. They need some offensive help. I can see them getting like Kincaid.
It's Bill Belichick.
You know, Bill Belichick loves them tight ends.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, but he got robbed in like the 3rd round. He can just wait. He'll draft Zach Kuntz and make him into an All-Pro.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Dude, but seriously though, this offense for the Falcons is legit. I really like what they're doing up front.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts is about to get unloaded, and I just want to put it out there. My man Desmond Ridder is about to have a year.
We'll
Think
see.
so?
Dude, in the
I don't
NFC
know.
South, I think it's wide open, man.
It's 100.
Yeah,
it's
no, it
definitely
is.
wide open.
So, I think Desmond Ridder right now is playing with the best team. If we're being totally honest, the most complete team all around.
Depends what kind of Michael Thomas you get.
You're right.
Saints still got a good, legit defense. They still got Alvin Kamara. If Michael Thomas comes back, he's going to be straight. I mean, Derek Carr, you can hate on him you want, but
I
he's
just don't trust
better
Josh
than
Allen.
average. Yeah, no, I mean, I get that part of it. I'm just
If it was Sean Payton, I'd say you're right.
overall
I
team.
don't
I'm
even
just
think
saying,
Sean
like
Payton's that
roster.
good.
I just don't think Atlanta's defense is as good as the Saints defense. That's that gives them the slight edge as overall. But I can see Atlanta winning the division.
Yeah.
Hell, I can see Carolina winning the division. They keep on adding pieces.
Yeah. I mean, don't forget, Carolina's only a few years removed from being considered having like a very good young defense, like with Jeremy Chin and all those guys, Brian Burns. But yeah, I mean, they've had shitty coaching, but Frank Reich is a good coach when it comes down to it.
They just need some. They need some weapons. They got rid of DJ Moore. They need some more weapons.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough for them, man. In that regard, but Bryce Young, I do think that's a slam dunk pick for them. I love Bryce Young. I don't care how small he is. Some people like smaller guys. Kyle, for example.
When Frank Reich talked about what he liked in a quarterback, first thing that came to my mind was Bryce Young. I know Paul had speculated it was Stroud, and I was like, I don't think that at all.
It's because he likes the bigger quarterbacks. He likes the bigger guys.
I think
like
the chess match part of it, is probably enticing him and somebody who can maneuver in the pocket in the face of adversity. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. I mean, having
we're almost there, baby. We're at pick 10, coming up.
I was about to say, did 9 even get announced?
They're gonna trade back to 25.
I'd be okay with it.
I would too, as whatever we get.
The Eagles have traded the number 10 and a 4th round pick next year's 4th round pick to move up to number 9.
They only moved up
one spot. They moved to next year 4th. Why does everybody slice the Eagles?
This man, Howie Roseman, is the finesser of the century, dog.
It's
ridiculous.
A fucking good GM.
Imagine
I hate it.
that negotiation with that GM for the Bears, being like, "Yeah, do we want to swap picks with you? All right, man. What do you want? Give me your 4th rounder next year." Like what? How?
Dog, I'm telling you, man. Yeah. This man Howie Roseman has pictures of people's wives or something. It's
he's
ridiculous.
Epstein. He just changed. He got a facelift from Face Off, like Nick Cage out there.
So yeah, never mind. I was gonna make a joke, but
you should. It's okay.
No.
Why not?
It's because it's tough in the trans community right now, dog. I'm not trying to make jokes about that.
I know it's hard on you guys.
I'm an ally. Come on, dog. Yeah, but this is scary. The Eagles doing this, I know that you shouldn't base your team around what one team in your division is doing, but the Eagles being as good as they are on all sides of the ball, you got to fix your O-line at this point. They're going to get Jalen Carter in there with Jordan Davis.
The Eagles their philosophy always been build the trenches and build the offensive line. And it's brought them success over the years, so it's not a bad model to follow.
And now we are joined by a new guest, friend of the podcast, lightning rod himself, Mr. Corey Sanchez. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm running on that CP time. I told you that. Corey's personal time. So Kyle said 9:15. I said, well, we're gonna do Corey's standard time and go at 9:18.
Hey, let's recap the first round so far. Number 1 overall was Bryce Young. Number 2 was C.J. Stroud. The Texans then traded back up to number 3 in order to get Will Anderson. And then number 4 was Anthony Richardson at 5. Am I tripping? Devin Witherspoon. 6 was...
that was Paris Johnson, wasn't it?
Yep,
Paris Johnson. 7... I don't know.
7 was whoever the Raiders picked. Who did the Raiders pick again?
Tyree Wilson.
From Texas.
Tyree Wilson. And then Bijan Robinson.
And now we're assuming Jalen Carter.
Probably Jalen Carter.
We hope not.
But he will, because the Eagles always win everything except for the Super Bowl.
Dude, the whole tampering thing, too, they moved up 60 spots or something.
Yeah, they just got a 66 pick.
Yeah, just sliced. And they already had 2 first-rounders. It's okay.
Told you, man. He's the finesser of the century. I don't know.
Yeah, well, shocker. a Jewish guy is good at controlling
God.
things.
Kevin.
It's not a stereotype. I'm Jewish. I can say that.
That's
Oh.
that's
Let me
not
guess.
right.
He's the
It's
reason
not
we've
right.
had. He's the reason we've had no snow this year in the East.
Oh my gosh.
I can say it. I'm Jewish.
YouTube's about to cut the feed off.
I'm
Right.
Jewish,
Yeah,
though. They can't say that. They should.
No,
be
you
my
passed the
uncle.
10-minute mark, so you're good.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're good.
technically. Yeah, no,
They don't
Can't
dig
cuss
after
in the first
10
minute.
minutes.
First 10 minutes,
Yep,
you can't
it
do
was
anything
it's
bad.
Jalen
Yep.
Carter. It's Jalen Carter. They just made the selection. Ian Rappaport just tweeted it out. That's a good. That's a good up front, man. Wow.
The rich keep on getting richer, man. That's all it is.
Hey, look, that just fundamentalizes what I've been saying, that we need to go get an offensive lineman up here, and a big one at that, to be able to combat all this, because it's going to be hell. But Corey, before we get to the 16th pick, because now we're on to the 11th overall, or the 10th pick now, who's your favorite for the 16th overall pick? You haven't been tweeting as much as usual. I know you had your latest podcast a couple days ago on the Warpath. But who's your favorite as of right now, the way the board is shaking out?
I mean, the way it's shaking up, I think I'm kind of safe in who I think it's going to be. I'd like Darnell Wright out of Tennessee. I watch a lot of Tennessee games, actually living kind of outside in their market. So I know a lot of Tennessee fans. One of my good buddies who kind of covers local sports, and he said that he wasn't a Darnell Wright fan to begin in the Jeremy Pruitt era. A lot of immaturity, but that reeked throughout that whole program. But as soon as Heupel came there, he saw that Darnell Wright became more mature and he took on a leadership role in there. So it kind of goes to the adage that, people can change and these young men can grow up. So I'm willing to get I want a big, ugly, nasty tackle that's just gonna stand up and protect not only our assets who's throwing the ball, so a la Sam Howell, because if he is your guy, you need to protect him. You need to protect him, and we saw last year with Carson and Taylor and everything. While they could make some plays, they got hit a lot, and especially that left side let us down. Although he might shift over, he might be more of a right tackle, but we were let down by that offensive line last year.
Man, it makes you so happy. Like, if I would have heard this 2 months ago, Corey, I would have been ecstatic to hear you say that. Like, it's crazy to see where we are now, right?
One thing I was thinking about Darnell Wright, with some of these things about his character concerns and stuff, allegedly, I don't know.
It reeks of like the John Allen ankle.
Kind of, but it also, like, when Rivera was talking, was that today or the other day, where he was talking about the 3 things that he looks for and the players that they want to draft, and he was like, football smarts, their IQ, a commitment to football, blah, blah, blah. Like, does that concern you at all that Darnell Wright is apparently, like, one of his things is effort? Like, would that maybe be like a reason that they don't take him? I don't know. That scares me because I want Darnell Wright. Like, I see Darnell Wright and I'm like, he fits the mold of exactly what you want in an offensive tackle for us. And maybe I'm just getting anxiety because,
Can I make a read joke?
Sucks. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I make a read joke?
Absolutely.
So anyway, I mean, we look at Chase Young, right?
Yeah.
How much effort has he? Like, let's keep it 1,000, right? He's been hurt, but
there's
been questionable effort there too. Yeah. I think that's you got to get him around the right people. And Chase came into a situation that there were leaders, but we didn't have the leaders that we have now, right? Like a John Allen. You can put these young men with captains and the leaders on this team now, and that can help bring them along. I think we don't realize where we've come from.
No, the Bears are taking Darnell Wright right now.
Oh, you're kidding me. The hell is Darnell Wright? I didn't want that bum anyway. I didn't want that bum. Who said that? Kyle, can we cut this? This ain't live, is it? You can go clip this off, right?
Man.
No, unfortunately,
that's a good
we're
pick by
stuck
Chicago.
with what we say.
Is Christian Gonzalez still on the board, though?
Yes, he is.
Okay, let's keep. Hey, that's who I want to rock with too. Now, if I'm
happy for Darnell Wright, man. I've been saying for the longest time I thought that he was the best tackle in this class. I'm glad that he was taken top 10.
I think
I'm happy for him.
Washington's going to try to trade back. And I mean, if Christian Gonzalez gets taken, I think they're going to try to trade back because trade back a couple spots and then pick somebody like Forbes maybe. Unless he gets taken off the board.
One of the other
apparently,
things,
he talk about a player he gets taken with the very next pick.
Washington doesn't seem to be scared of taking a player though that some people may feel is too early, like Jahan Dotson and James Davis. Like if they have them rated semi close to somebody, it seems like they're confident to just be like, fuck it, we're taking him here.
And that's why I felt like DeJuan Jones is that player. He fits that mold of what Jahan Dotson was last year.
Would make a lot of sense. Right?
Where like his film pops off on you, but he doesn't have the.
He's not getting much first round.
Right, he's not getting all the media attention because maybe possibly one thing or another. With Jahan, I think it was his size, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With DeJuan, it's more so I think just experience. I don't know why he has not gotten the. Because he looks, dude, when you watch him, he's consistent as all hell. And I just don't get it. I think that he was the best tackle at Ohio State last year. Look, but that's just me. How are you feeling right now, Corey? I gave you a couple minutes to think it over. You just talked about Darnell Wright. Now he's gone.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't talk about Darnell Wright up here. You're crazy. You can go back and clip that. We can clip that off.
More so like Darnell wrong.
Like I was saying, the defense is the most important part of building a team, and you got to solidify it. Like, let's get a cornerback. It's a
passing league, right?
Yeah, it's a passing league. See, Reed gets me. He knows what I was talking about the whole time.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking. Hey, look, we can erase this. This is why pencil has erasers and all that good stuff. This is why I failed my SAT. So you know, it is what it is.
Whiteout exists.
Mulligan. That's why I love golf, right?
There you go.
Especially there it is. Ian Rappaport just tweeted it out. Darnell Wright to Chicago. Happy for him. I'm kind of pissed off, but it is what it is. Let's get into some fan questions as we're getting into the 16th overall pick for the Commanders. And Corey, I want to ask you this question from the Colonel. Appreciate you, Colonel. He says, I'm unclear on the implications of the fifth-year option. Please explain what it means the Commanders not picking up Chase Young's fifth-year option, and does it give the Commanders more leverage contractually? Is it saving them money?
That's a finger-licking good question there, Colonel. It just basically means that Chase is going to be a free agent after this year. You know, it's just it's just working that 4-year contract because they have to get it in that. And y'all stop me if I'm wrong, right? They had to solidify it this year before this year to go in to next year to have it. So. I don't know who it gives leverage to be honest with, because Chase could go out here and ball out, and then the leverage is all in his court right now. I think from a standpoint, on a 2-point stand, it's more like it looks like you're giving up on the pick, like the pick that you made. It looks like you're giving up on the pick, but then on hindsight, it is that maybe you're using this as motivation, kind of like you did with Deron Payne. And what did Deron Payne do? He balled the heck out. And this is why I'm not really a fan of people talking about trading these guys, because I said that's not in Ron Rivera's MO, is to trade his primetime players or his big starters. So I don't think there's going to be a trade this in these next 3 days. Hey, but I mean, if they ball out, if he balls out, it's in the player's hand. But if he doesn't, the team looks right, and that guy's off the books.
Yeah. And Freddie Ham says, damn it, the Bears took my dude. I know, man. I know that feeling.
Although, hey, I will say I am huge on I'm somebody, I don't think we should build a wall. I think that Christian Gonzalez would be perfect. I'm all for the love of Mexico, so I'm all in on that Gonzalez train right now.
No, and yeah, Colonel, it's a fantastic question, because the one thing is, yes, they didn't pick up the fifth-year option, but it makes sense because you would essentially be rewarding Chase for getting injured. And I think it speaks a lot to Rivera, because Rivera, when he first got here, what he said was, if you work hard and you be a leader, you are mature, you go about it the right way, I will pay you guys. I will pay you to stay. And he's shown that. He's done it with Terry. He's done it with John Allen. He's done it with Deron Payne. He's about to do it with Cam Curl as well. But even though his first overall pick in Chase Young, he still didn't pull that trigger, even though it would help him in like the political sphere of just like the talk of the fans. because now they can say, oh, you don't even believe in the first round pick that you drafted. He's a bust. And the fact that he stuck to his guns from what he originally said and didn't kind of do it in a way to save himself and the organization and their draft pick, I think it says a lot about Rivera, and that they still, and we can't forget, they have the option to franchise tag him after next season. So if he does do well, you could still franchise tag him, and at that point you feel comfortable with that franchise tag if Chase Young balls out.
Titans taking T-Rex arms.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, they need O-line. I figured they'd be jumping for joy for Levis right now. That's huge if they're taking Skoronski.
Levis is going to slide to 16.
Who went to Tennessee?
They're going to take Skoronski.
T-Rex arms, Skoronski.
Makes sense.
I'm not a big Will Levis fan.
I'm so happy they took him just because, like, I would have gotten in so many arguments.
Dog, I was getting scared he was going to be there at 16 and they would be tempted to take him too. I'm like,
dude, Christian Gonzalez is still there, bro.
That's
Detroit's
your
up
boy,
next.
isn't it, Kyle?
Yep.
Yeah, that's your boy. Gonzalez.
Detroit's up next. They already got Weatherspoon.
Is this going to be
Green Bay's up after that. They already got what's it called on the outside, light skinned dude.
Oh yeah, the dude from
He's a baller.
Jair Alexander.
Yeah, it's Alexander.
Jair Alexander, exactly. So I mean, he could definitely get to be there. Patriots got a solid defense. I don't know if they take a corner.
Is Gonzalez?
Jets already got Sauce Gardner.
Is Gonzalez going to end up being this year's Arakpo / John Allen, where it's like the whole time we were like, they're not going to fall to us, but they'd be perfect. And then all of a sudden they're sitting there in our laps, like Kyle and that other young Mexican fella last weekend. Remember him?
Oh, happy birthday, by the way, Kyle.
Thank you, sir. He's Salvadorian, by the way, racist.
Yeah.
Oh man, this man Albert Breer said even though the Lions took Witherspoon, they could still select Gonzalez to solidify their corners.
Damn, imagine
for
that.
the next 10 years. I know.
No.
That would be pretty.
As I said, like as soon as we start talking about a player, he gets selected.
I know. We shouldn't have done that because that's what happened with Drake London last season.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as that came up, we're like, oh, here we go. And of course, the Falcons took him, which is a great pick. But I'm not complaining here. I love Jahan.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about it. But.
Yeah, let's start talking about tight ends so that way we don't take one. That way one gets taken.
Yeah. I'll start talking about edge rushers then. Nolan Smith.
Dude, as much as like I would understand the edge rusher thing, I would be so blown if we took an edge rusher at 16. Just because I'd be like, dude, for like 4 of the last how many years we've taken a D lineman, and I get it, like it's gonna end up being a need very soon, but like I would be so pissed off. I'd be like, come on.
No, that's what I was saying in the Discord. Like I understand why they would need to get an edge rusher because of Montez Sweat and Chase Young's future, but the fact is, what has drafting an edge rusher in the first round done for us as of late? And that's my whole point is like would rather build on our weaknesses rather than just trying to solidify strengths, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right.
I mean, before you're sexy, you got to be beautiful. So, that's just how it is sometimes.
Is that how it works, Corey?
Yeah, it does.
You know that, wouldn't you?
You actually know. Hey, I learned that from Reed. That's what I heard. Reed put that on
that's
Twitter
why Corey fits in so well with us. He just gets the one-liners.
Yeah, that's I live my life by that mantra.
Absolutely.
Is that tatted on your chest like Kyle got his tatted on his chest?
That is tatted right on my left rib cage like a chick. There's like flowers under it and stuff.
It's got disco ball and everything. It's just
And then on the other side it says "Live, Laugh, Love." Because why
not? You got laugh now, cry later on your forearm.
Yeah, because I'm a huge Drake fan. Huge Drake fan. Yeah.
It'd be like one of those multiple spaces.
And then I got search and rescue tattooed behind my earlobe.
What?
See what?
Lions are taking Alabama running back Jahmyr Gibbs.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
What?
We called him going round
Christian
1.
Gonzalez,
Didn't think it'd be
bro.
That's a wild pick right there.
Don't do it.
No, they really
don't do it, Cal.
Time out. You know what that means, right? Are they really about to move Derrick Henry? Like, why would you take a running back at number?
Well, because he's a pass catching.
Wait.
Oh wait, no, that's Detroit. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my screen. It says Titans, but I forgot it was
who's
Detroit.
pissed though is DeAndre Swift.
Oh yeah.
Because they did just let go of Jamal Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Because isn't Jahmyr Gibbs more so of a passing back? But I guess he can do everything. If he's
an Alvin Kamara type.
Yeah. All right, that makes sense then. Wow, we
That's
were selecting
wild.
him like at the ass end of the first round, and here he goes.
Yeah, he was slipping into the second in a lot of mocks.
Who knew that Jahmyr Gibbs was biting off kneecaps? Man, should have known.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
no, that makes a lot of sense actually. Yeah,
Woo! We're only 3 picks away, boys.
I'm scared. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I'm so.
It's actually going a lot faster than I thought it was going to go. I'm not gonna
Will
lie.
Levis. Let's go, Will Levis. There we go.
Oh
There-
my!
Yeah.
Don't
You
even
better
put that juju out there right now. I'm
Will
all on
Levis
this
on me, Ricky
O-line
Bobby.
/ cornerback.
Yeah, there's a video or like a picture of this man Sean Payton hitting a ball.
Really? That makes me like him more.
Dude, Urban Meyer 2.0, man.
Where is he? Denver? That's cool as shit.
Clip
Denver.
leaks showing Broncos head coach Sean Payton ripping a bong during NFL draft.
Did somebody just try to pull
love the
what
Broncos.
was
I
that
love the
offensive
Broncos even
tackle?
more.
What's the tackle
Broncos to the
name
Super
from the
Bowl.
Texans?
You know he's hanging out with Peyton Manning.
What's the tackle's name from the Texans that was drafted by the Dolphins?
Laramie Tunsil?
Did
No.
somebody just try to Laramie Tunsil a coach?
What did he
That-
say? I believe so. Yeah. He's like, yeah, that's right. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, that was me. Yeah, I think so. That was cool as
I
shit.
didn't
when he did
inhale.
that.
He said Laramie
It's like,
Tunsil.
sir, you're wearing a gas mask. You inhale.
Laramie Tunsil was the originator for the show The Mask.
Yeah, pretty much.
Who's
Yeah.
that guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lord. Oh my gosh, yeah. That gun. He's
What
like
is
getting
Sean-
the breath of life up in that thing.
So he's
He
a
won't let it
seasoned
go.
smoker.
Yeah,
is
he's
what
a
you're
vet.
saying. Is it a gravity bong? Because that would make me him.
No, you know who it is? That's Kevin. That's what's his name? Kevin. That played him in the played him in
the
that movie.
actor.
Kevin James.
That's Kevin James. Yeah, that's Kevin
James. You know, Kevin James can fight. Like Kevin James is like a former bodyguard, which is weird, but he's like a black belt in
Yeah, all this time he's
Brazilian
been
jiu-jitsu
fighting
or
hunger.
something.
I mean, it makes sense. He was a mall cop.
No, he
so.
hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't been fighting hunger at all. That dude
He was a mall cop, and he saved them all from those intruders.
That's true.
so it
Yeah,
makes
yeah. He
sense.
rides around on a Segway. Yeah.
Oh, Paul Blart. Yeah, that's Paul Blart. That's Sean Blart Payton over
You know how
there.
many times I've been walking down the street and somebody's yelled Paul Blart at me?
Oh my gosh. I'm
Tell me
blown
that's
by
happened.
this thing.
Tell me that's true.
No, I don't, probably, maybe. I don't know. If it did, I just thought they were talking about something else.
Oh man,
Man, he's an old school pothead. That's exactly what he is. Whew, gosh.
Oh my goodness, I thought that was true. That would have been hysterical. Just the look on your face to come back from that, calling somebody Paul Blart, that's messed up.
Dude. If somebody calls you
So-
Paul Blart, you're fighting them 100%. That's like the worst thing to be called. That's like you're a fed and you're fat.
I think Hall would disagree with you there.
What? What?
Come on, Kyle.
I won't even listen. What'd you say?
That's the worst thing you can call a white guy. The fuck?
Pasty?
No, he said that's the worst thing you could say to somebody, and I was like, I think Hall would disagree.
Oh.
Oh, I agree with Paul on that one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I didn't even take that into consideration. I was thinking about me. Somebody calls me that, I think it's cool. I'm like,
All right, so who's at pick 13?
Green Bay.
Oh yeah, this is the Green Bay pick. They just traded with the Jets for Aaron Rodgers. Did you see that Aaron Rodgers like cleaned himself up and everything now? He looks like a normal person.
No, he looks like a
because he's not
younger, like
depressed
more
anymore.
like not as pale anymore. I'm like, yeah, he
Dude.
doesn't look like he's like dying.
He
Yeah.
totally AB'd them, bro.
Yeah.
Like he did to Vegas.
He put the James Harden fat suit on. Was like, get me out of here.
And then they converted his contract, so now this year he's getting paid over $100 million. Woo.
No, but the cap hit is like 1 point something million. It's like something ridiculously low.
Dude, I need to hit up that shaman, man. That guy knows what's up because apparently they know what's good. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Freddie Ham is commenting. He says Mike Reed is a tool. Yes, Freddie
Freddie
was.
answered that. Fuck you, Freddie.
Very much right. It's true. Very true. And then Freddie also says 2 running backs in the first round, and we're not halfway through. Nuts. Reed agrees.
Toads. Yeah, no, I love nuts. Kyle, shut up. That was gross. So how funny is it going to be if the Packers take a wide receiver after everything? After
You know, we
everything that
mocked
happened?
Dalton Kincaid to them multiple times. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case just based on how things are rolling, but at this point, who freaking knows?
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit tough. Don't know what's going to happen.
What if
here
the
with Green
Packers
Bay.
do take a quarterback here?
That would be funny too. I mean, it's always
If they
funny
took
when
Hendon
you-
Hooker?
What was that random white lady he was with? That was weird.
What?
So
No, it was like Jahmyr Gibbs. They were showing him like I guess at his house on the couch, and there was like I guess it looked like he was hugging his mom. There was like some like random like older white lady next to him.
Oh, that's
She was like
that's
rubbing
his,
him and like kissed
that's
him on the
his
cheek.
baby's
It was like,
grandmama. That's his baby's
Aw.
grandma. You know how that goes. Come on
that's
now.
true. Yeah,
You know how that goes. That might
I
be
didn't think
his
about that.
woman. That might be his
that
girl.
might be his
That
girl.
might be
might be
true,
his
too.
girl. Look,
How old was she?
hey, just because the expiration date's passed don't mean you can't still.
She looked like she could have been like his agent or something. Honestly.
Hey,
She looked older.
look, just because it's by the sale date don't mean you can't still eat from the box. That's what I'm saying.
Jesus.
Come on now.
But I don't know, man. Things like white milk are not good past the expiration date. They get all
Hey,
chunky
look, 3
and-
3 days late. You
So
already-
Reed's like, yeah, no, you're
Reed's
okay.
been past his expiration date.
Oh,
Right.
dude, I expired. I peaked at like the tender age of 16. It's all been downhill from there. All of a sudden, you start looking like Paul Blart, and like it sucks. Yeah, I can never wear a blue polo to the mall because everybody just comes up to me and thinks that I'm fucking running security. Who's
Lucas Van Ness, Packers.
Packers?
Going to the
Oh,
Packers. All
okay.
right, so now we're
Yeah.
going to 14. There's only
love
two
the
picks.
Pipes.
Dude, two pick Christian
Let's
Gonzalez is
go.
still there, boys.
Let's go.
Remember the last year though when we were like, dude,
This is hilarious.
we only got a couple more picks. Chris Olave's still there. Olave's still
look.
there, and then we
We're like,
traded
yo,
back.
Christian Gonzalez is dropping to us, and they picked fucking Dalton
This
Kincaid.
lady will
Will
not stop
Levis.
talking. Oh,
Right?
she kissed Gibbs.
So-
She just kissed
She
Jamar
did?
Gibbs.
Like,
Yes,
that's what I
What kind of
said.
kiss
chick.
was it?
I
though?
told you. That's what I was saying. That's why I was like,
Holy moly.
What
That's
kind
why
of
That's
it
an
threw me off.
Undercover
That's why I
Brother.
was like,
That's
what?
Denise Richards right there in Undercover Brother.
Dude,
That's White She-Devil.
Jameer Gibbs
White
is
She-Devil.
I watched White Chicks the other day. Lindsay made me watch it, and I forgot how fucking good that movie is. White Chicks is one of the funniest movies of all time.
dude.
It is.
Jameer Gibbs is that dude Nick and Grandma's boy.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Grandma's Boy
Gosh.
is another one, dude. That
Could,
movie's so
you
good.
could get that lady
Granny,
and
no.
Sean Payton. They just light up together and they just draft football players all year round.
Somewhere Urban Meyer just spilled his drink. He was like, "How?"
He's like, "This is my granddaughter. That's what. She's just my granddaughter. That's a,
you know, Sean Payton was like, I'm only taking a job if it can be in Denver because he was like, I'm gonna smoke so much weed nobody can say shit about it. No, that was his logic behind that, and I honestly support it. I think that all drugs
Yep.
should be illegal.
Lucas
He heard
Van
it.
Ness to the Packers. That's at 13, dude. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it. I really hope it's Christian Gonzalez, man. Like
I
this
know,
whole
man.
time, everyone's been telling me I'm crazy. There's no way he could fall.
I mean, I didn't think he was gonna fall. This is crazy. I'm
Dude,
not
I
gonna
didn't
lie.
think that. Honestly, I know that we mocked it a couple times that Devin Witherspoon would go over him, but in the back of my mind, I didn't really think it
Neither
was
did
possible.
Neither did I. This could be a good thing. You know?
So, will
who's
Denver-
picking next? Who? What picks do we have? We have
So the Packers just went at 13. So the 14th pick, I believe, is the Patriots.
Patriots and then the Jets.
And then the Jets.
Patriots could take Gonzalez.
Yes,
Will
yeah,
they? I don't know.
they could.
but
the
didn't
Jets,
I was
that's
thinking
what
that,
Hall
but I
was
mean-
saying. Hall was
gotta
saying
go
they need
O-line,
offensive
too.
help.
Yeah,
But I was saying they
that
need help for Mac Jones though. Like,
Yeah, if they're gonna go all in on that little.
but
rat.
it's Bill Belichick. He
Oh,
could
wait.
pick anybody.
If we get past the Patriots, I think we're good because it's the Jets coming up at 15. I think
Yeah,
we'll be
they
good.
already got
And then-
Sauce Gardner.
Unless and
My
they have,
nephew met Sauce Gardner out there. He met him out there at the draft. He's out there in Kansas City. So
But
and I was
damn.
like, I said, that guy looks familiar. I said, does that ice say sauce? And I was like, yeah. And I said, okay. I said, go ahead.
That is a cool ass nickname though.
It is.
Being
It
called
is.
Sauce. That's sick. That's
That is a
tight.
sick
People don't have
nickname.
cool nicknames anymore. That's a cool nickname.
Right. Hey,
Like
I got to
Paul
run
Blart.
upstairs real quick, but hey, let's talk about the 14th overall pick. I got to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, Kyle. Thanks for telling us what to talk about. Anyway, Corey, what's been up in your head?
I was gonna say Broncos country, let's blaze, but they're gonna be the new one. Is it gonna
Broncos
be the
country.
second? Broncos country. Let's blaze.
Let's blaze.
Get high.
Right, get high.
A mile high. A
Yeah,
mile high standard. We
Yeah.
know, Sean.
We know, Sean. Yeah. We know what you're doing out there.
That's like Shaka Tony. I said, I hope the young man's okay and everything. But he said, they gave him the advice, said, you got to bet on yourself in life. He said, hold my beer. So there we go. Hold my
Yeah,
beer.
I was absolutely shocked when he did that. I'll show myself out.
No, you gotta finish. You gotta finish that. Finish that one, Reed. You gotta finish.
I was absolutely shocked that he gambled his entire life away on a bet on a game. You know,
It's crapshoot.
It is, yeah. Just like this draft, man.
You hit the XFL lottery.
He hit that over under.
Well, dude, it would be funny too if he bet on himself and he lost.
Oh no!
how fucking humiliating is that? Like Pete Rose going up there betting every time he goes to get a hit and he strikes out. Who's that chick? Who is that person?
It's just Jamar Gibbs, mystery.
Lucas Van Ness. All right,
Dude,
Steelers are on the clock.
The Steelers jumped. So the Steelers jumped.
Steelers want Gonzalez.
No,
get Joey Porter. You gotta keep the lineage. Get Joey Porter.
No, because they could have got Joey Porter at 17. They're gonna get Gonzalez.
They're gonna get Gonzalez, man.
Yeah.
Now I gotta listen to this. Oh my gosh.
I know. Now we gotta hear Gavin, man.
Why, man? Why did they do this to me?
They either want Gonzalez or let's make Kyle really mad, or DeJuan Jones. They're gonna take one of those.
Will Levis coming.
Will Levis. I hope they do take Will Levis. That way, all the Pittsburgh Steelers fans can shut up about how good how good Whopper Jr. hands is. Kenny Pickett.
Whopper.
Dude.
Oh no. I know what that means. They're taking Gonzalez.
They have to be, and that's good for them.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at
Cut that out. It's my cat. Sorry.
Emmanuel
Do
Forbes.
you see my coffee cup, Corey?
Cat love. Hey, you got cat? Yeah. Tyson, he's a jackhole.
You know it, baby.
He's a jackhole. So.
Kyle, that cup should say "Bussy Lover." A butt put. Never mind.
Get a 4th rounder out of that, man.
They got a 4th rounder for trading up 3
there we
picks
go.
or whatever.
There's draft.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, cats are so funny to me. Cats run shit.
Man,
Cats think that
Christian
they
Gonzalez, they have to be. Gosh.
Yeah.
Why,
Corey, what's his
man?
name?
His name's Tyson.
Tyson?
Tyson.
Like after the boxer? Or
no, I
after
just named. He looked like he was
after
really
the
like
chicken nuggets.
Yeah, he looked like a chicken nugget. He said, "Bye, bub." Okay.
He looked like a chicken nugget.
Yeah, he did. He looked like a little chicken nugget. And I said, he looks like a Tyson.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
they might
like
be
me.
taking Broderick Jones. They're looking at him on the
No,
on
that's
TV
what
right now.
Standick said. Yep, that's what we'll assume this is for
Kyle.
Broderick Jones.
Okay.
Yes, it is Broderick Jones.
Woo!
Okay,
There we go.
okay.
Yeah, the Steelers suck.
I love how
We're trading back, Kyle. We're trading back.
Don't say that, man.
I love how every pick they act like the NASA when they set a rocket ship into space. They're all like cheering and shaking hands. They're like, "Yeah, we did it. We got them." It's like you picked a person, okay? You didn't achieve some great marvel of humanity. You didn't just send somebody into space. Like you see the exact same reaction in a NASA room, in the NASA control room.
Sorry, I'm
What did
tweeting.
they call that? What was that when the SpaceX blew up? They said it was a unscheduled something. Just blows up.
Oh yeah. Wasn't that recent?
Yeah, it was like
Obviously
last
SpaceX.
week. I said I want to use that. That like I might get that tattooed on my back or something.
Dude.
Get that quote. That's a good quote. That way when anything goes wrong, just be like,
I just said it, dude.
Scheduled for this
If it's
rocket to blow
Gonzalez, dude, there might be a new national monument coming up in Gaithersburg tonight. That's all I'm saying.
ew.
You're gonna wreck that statue on Saturday, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
And then Reed's gonna come run a riot.
What? So
We're
guys
going
can't go,
streaking.
what? A couple guys can't even go to the Capitol anymore? Come on. That's what Jack Del Rio said. Jack Del Rio's like, "You're telling me the boys can't go to the
Jesus
Capitol anymore? Come on, what's wrong with that?"
man. Don't do that to old dust up, Jack.
Hey,
It's
Jack,
just a little dust up, guys. It's just a little dust up.
yeah, come on.
This is dust up.
What, you're telling me people can't even go to the
You know what the
Capitol
bad
anymore?
thing was? I went to minicamp the week before he said all that stuff, and I took a picture with him, and I said, bite D's like that with him. And then I said, oh crap, I've got to hide this picture somewhere. I said, they're gonna think I'm like a co-conspirator with Jack Del Rio. I said, I don't want him. I said, I don't want him dusting up now.
What's up, Joe? Sanders, it's good to see you back, brother. And Ty McLean, if we get Gonzalez, then send me that Terry jersey. Did we talk about Gonzalez and him falling to us? Dude, honestly, I will be so floored with that if he really does come to us.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be pumped. Freddie, is Freddie still watching? Because what does Freddie think? I like Freddie's input on these things. Freddie, what would you do if Christian Gonzalez fell to us? Type in the chat, ring the bell, subscribe, whatever these YouTubers say these days.
You know what they say. They say subscribe, Reed.
Okay, yeah, no.
Just smash that button.
Sorry, I know that there's a lot of lull time right now, but I'm like flipping out right now just because what could possibly be coming up now, man.
Are you scared? I'm scared. I'm nervous.
I kind of want to watch it.
What if the Jets are like, we're gonna keep Bryce Hall on the inside? Oh yeah, never mind. They also have Reeder. Is that who it is? The other corner opposite. They're good at corner. They're beyond good at corner. They have 3 good corners.
I'm so happy the Steelers took Broderick Jones.
Are you gonna still be happy when they come on when they announce the pick and it's like, I don't know, fucking Cody Monk or something?
I would be pissed. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, of course. So now, basically, if we take anybody but Christian Gonzalez, you're gonna be pissed.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
I feel you.
If this is true, like if the Jets do, unless somebody trades up with the Jets here, which could easily happen, obviously, because
the Ravens could. Yeah, the Ravens could trade up.
What if we take Emmanuel Forbes over Gonzalez?
Don't stop, man. What are you trying to get me angry right now?
I'm trying to prepare you for every scenario.
Ryan Fowler said he was Carolina's number 2 corner. He could be their number 2. Washington's number 2.
Fowler don't know Jack.
Oh, you know Jack. You were with him at the Capitol. So
that's not funny, man. You gotta stop making jokes like that.
What's the joke? There's no joke. It's a fact.
January 6th is not a joking matter, sir.
January 6th. What happened to Tower 7, brother? If we're gonna get into
you're right. You're absolutely right about that.
Dude,
oh my goodness.
The Jets are on the clock right now.
Let's go. I know. Hurry up, dude.
Shoot.
So Jets, I would imagine. Broderick Jones is gone. Skoronski's gone. Paris Johnson's gone. Darnell Wright's gone. So yeah, this O-line, the O-line's thinning out fast.
As we thought it would.
Yeah,
especially these tackles, we thought that
especially
they would.
Who was was it Ben Standing who tweeted, who was talking about like once you get past pick 7, like these offensive tackles could fly off the board because every team but one has a legitimate need for offensive line, and that's kind of what
Jets are going to draft Will Levis. They're going to get Aaron Rodgers' replacement.
And Zach Wilson's going to be like,
the ghost of Green Bay's coming back.
Yeah. So, dude, this could be lining up also perfectly for the Bucks. Apparently, they really liked Levis, and they're picking what, 19th, 18th, or something.
Dude, tell me it's Gonzalez. Tell me it's Gonzalez.
I just want to see what the Jets are doing right now. So, everybody, jump on John Keim.
Well, guys, I was talking with Ron Rivera this week, and we found out there were a lot of things that were going on for ESPN. I'm John Keim. Love how John has the storytelling vibe about him.
Yeah. I feel like he would tell some good stories around the campfire. I guarantee it. So wait.
Come on, Jahan. You know it's Gonzo. Come on, bro.
Oh.
This is making me think, like, I'm scared there might be a trade on the horizon if they ain't got the pick in yet. Like,
especially with the Jets lingering like this. It's been a minute.
I know, dude. Come on, man.
Woo!
Oh,
Hercules,
great.
Hercules.
What?
The Commanders trade up with the Jets, and we traded the 47th pick and the 16th pick to move up to 15. I'm just kidding. What if we
Dude,
did that?
come on, man.
Oh, God.
I'm sitting here refreshing Albert Breer's page. I'm like, no.
They can't play like that.
Everybody else traded a 4th-round pick to move up one spot, but we were like, we'll give you a 2nd as well. What if that did happen? I'd be so pissed.
We're in the midnight hour and you're making jokes like this.
Yeah. The doomsday clock is close, brother.
Woo!
Dude, run up to the podium for Gonzo. run up to the podium. I'm buying that jersey immediately.
Dude, and then they can wear 0 now.
Dude, we talked about that, remember?
Yeah.
And you even said with that coming up, it'd be weird. With him being
Gonzalez,
0,
yeah.
it would look really good.
Yeah, I say a lot of things that come true.
But the uniforms are trash. What do you mean?
Dude,
No, the Cardinals uniforms are trash.
yeah, those are
Those are trash.
duty fire, if that's even a thing.
Hey, I will say there was only 2 people at the beginning of the whole process that said Christian Gonzalez. It was Kyle and my boy Paulie. They were the 2 people that were talking Christian Gonzalez the whole time.
Yeah, Kyle was like I didn't think I didn't know who the hell he was.
I just thought he was too good to drop this far. Honestly,
I knew
this
he
is
would
crazy.
be really athletic, but so I like didn't really give him much thought. I didn't know he was as good as he was. And then Kyle was like, "Dude, go watch Christian Gonzalez," and I was like, "Oh my god." And I was like, "Yeah, there's no way he's gonna be able to fall." And look, we still might not even take him. But
dude, I really hope it is him because like he was the only prospect. Him and I think Devin Witherspoon made plays, but when I watched Christian, it was like literally the first 5 minutes after watching him, I was like, "That's the number 1 cornerback in the draft." Like it was just one of those things. And so that I waited, watched everyone else, came back and watched him again, and I was like, "Yep, it's still the same guy. Yep, that's him." And, you know, when I talked to Awad at the end of the season, he talked about who I wanted in this draft. I said I wanted a lockdown corner first and foremost. A lot of people said offensive line. You know, I agree with you at this point. But if Christian Gonzalez is available, like, this is the dream pick. Like, absolutely. When I put out that tweet earlier today, my hopefuls, who's at the top of the list? Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Well, the pick is in because they're doing the NASA celebration.
Yeah. But we could get a lot if since Will Levis is still going to be there in a trade.
Stop it.
Back.
But I don't think anyone's going to want to trade up for him. Like if no one's traded up for him yet,
unless people think that we're going to take him and like the Bucks really like him or something. But what do you get out of it?
I mean,
4th.
The Patriots could take him at 17. Honestly, there's been a lot of reports that Bill Belichick's out on Mac Jones.
Yeah, Bill Belichick hates Mac Jones. That's so funny. I would like to see their relationship portrayed by like Robert De Niro and Zac Efron in a movie.
Didn't Jake Gyllenhaal do Tony Romo in a movie one time?
Did he?
Yeah, I thought so.
He did him?
Oh, Brokeback Mountain.
I was going to say Brokeback Mountain.
Was that where you were going?
That was it. That's where I was going.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were serious at first.
All right, guys, they're on the clock. The Commanders just tweeted out that they are now on the clock. So, who was the pick? Do anybody
It doesn't say yet.
Stop playing.
Iowa State DN Will McDonald.
What?
Cowboys liked him. Y'all suck.
Yeah. Good.
Let's go, boys. Christian Gonzalez. All right. Anything else? Anybody? Any other picks you want right here? Should we trade back?
I wouldn't mind a trade back. A couple spots.
Don't be ugly.
Leave.
Don't be ugly.
I'm just saying, man.
Leave.
Don't be ugly, Hall.
I would love Gonzalez, but I would also love a trade back, get some more picks, and maybe you still get Gonzalez.
Remember, OC asked us what was the best possible scenario, the dream scenario, and he asked if it was trading back. And just legit said, if there's somebody there, there's no reason to trade back because the best value there is there.
Unless someone wants to give you a bunch of picks or a bunch of compensation for Will Levis, come up to get Will Levis.
Yeah, but what did the Steelers get? They got a 4th rounder, move back 3 spots. Are we really want to move out of that realm?
It's a quarterback. It's more valuable.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Seattle could jump up for Levis. Buccaneers, like.
Reed, why do you have to tweet that?
Why did you tweet something so disgusting, Kyle?
Oh,
what'd he say?
I said that Kyle said something about there being a new monument in Gaithersburg.
This is disgusting.
I like how Reed acts like the adult on Twitter. Like, you know, on the tweets. But then, like anybody that watches the show knows.
Yeah, no, I totally act like the adult on Twitter.
You do.
Me and Hogshaven get along really well.
Oh no.
Yeah, you do.
Guys, stop being mean.
Oh no. All right, guys, dude. Oh, here we go.
I'm scared.
I've seen nothing on Twitter. It has to be him. It has to be him. It has to be.
know some in Washington's front office really like Forbes,
God.
but they didn't think Gonzalez would get there. This is from JP.
Who's this kid? This kid is such a boner.
I know.
That's what Marley just said.
Who?
Marley said, this kid's such a boner.
Who's he talking about?
This kid who's about
There's
to
a random
announce the
kid on
pick.
ESPN trying to hype
It's
the crowd
probably-
up.
Yeah.
He's such a boner. Come on.
Who calls him that?
What is he, like 10?
No, I think he's autistic or something. Come on, Marley. Or he's just a really
Just
big
make the
fan.
pick, dude. Just make the pick, bro. Just
Don't
make
think
the
about
pick.
this. No
Just
position
make the
flex.
pick with Gonzo, bro. Just make the pick with Gonzo.
Washington has drafted Miles Murphy at 16.
Shut up. You're scaring me.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you.
Dude, you guys got to stop that, man.
You see Kyle's face about to drop? Like, dog, are you serious?
It's gonna be Banks from Maryland.
JP just said he really thinks this could be Forbes ahead of Gonzalez.
Gee, oh
But-
Christmas.
But what
I'm
does
not.
JP
I'll
know?
hold judgment.
Oh, actually, no. JP's probably here in the draft room from where he's at right now with those ears.
That's
I
so
like
mean.
JP. No, I like JP. JP's grown on me. I like JP a lot. Nice guy. Oh man, I'm scared.
Don't be scared. Don't be
I'm-
scared.
I can't help it.
Don't be
This is
scared.
all I've got. This is all I got. I don't have anything else. Nothing else to be happy about. Nothing else to look forward to. In
Sorry,
life.
dude. I'm just all into Twitter right now,
Lindsay's
just
right
because
there,
I'm
so I
trying
just
to
wanted to see
figure
what
out
she
if anybody is saying anything, and nobody has info at all.
Might be a
Nobody.
trade back.
It's Emmanuel Forbes.
Oh,
Yep.
What?
It's Forbes.
Nuh-uh.
Yep.
How do you know?
That's what what's his face is saying. Chad
JP
Ryan.
said, and JP said the same thing too.
Wow.
Per source.
Wow. Look, I like Forbes a lot, and if he's up to 180 pounds, that would make sense with the pick. It would, because he is what Christian Gonzalez brings. I'm kind of
I don't
just
know.
weirded out with the whole thing, just because Gonzo is. I don't know.
I want to know why Gonzalez is dropping so much.
Yeah. Well, has anybody checked his status?
Oh, well, Jeffrey Thomas just said it was a Make-A-Wish Foundation kid
Come
who-
on,
who
Marley.
beat bone cancer, and that was his wish. Dude, Reed, what are you doing?
I
This
thought
man
it was
Cracky,
stupid.
this man Cracky said, I
What?
can't believe the Jets let Zach
Marley
Wilson
said
make the
that.
pick.
Oh no.
Why did
Yep,
you say
it's
that?
Forbes. Albert Brill just confirmed it's Forbes.
Woo!
I mean, I'm all right with it.
All right.
Look, dude is a ball hawk. I can't be mad at it.
No, I can't be mad at it either. It's just I wanted Gonzo.
Come here.
All right, let's go Emmanuel Forbes. We've been talking about it for a while, that he's somebody that going up to 180 pounds could really make things interesting here, and obviously he did. That's electrifying. The Panthers coming out and saying that Emmanuel Forbes is their number 2 cornerback on
That's true.
their
Yeah,
big board.
a lot of people could a lot of teams could have Emmanuel Forbes rated higher, I guess, I know that there's a lot of people that liked him.
Absolutely. I'm just still blown away by the fact that you would say that from Marley about that kid. I should be
okay,
watching the draft right now, but I'm instead doing this.
To be
But
fair, all I did was relay what he said.
let's talk about this Emmanuel Forbes pick, Corey. Now let's get your honest, 100% honest reaction, Corey. Emmanuel Forbes, the cornerback from Mississippi State. We're getting the southern corner. The kid is legit. Talk to us about him, Corey.
Well, I mean, you look at it. He has a knack for getting the ball. He has a knack for finding the end zone too when he picks the ball off and everything. And then, 6'1", good size. He's back at that 180. He's at that 180 range. I think he could make some trouble, especially in this NFC East with with your CeeDee Lambs and your AJ Browns. These guys that are up there. I mean, the Giants really don't have anybody that scares me, but I think he could make a difference here. And it's the corner play, or the durability at corner for us has been a question, especially like we thought Ben St. Juste could stay healthy, but he's missed significant times in his first 2 years. So I like this pick, man. I like a corner here, and if he is as scrappy as can be, I like Gonzalez, but if he can do it, and he's played big time opponents in the SEC, so I think that's a key factor as well in drafting this cat.
Yeah, the other thing, everything that you just said, I mean, it's spot on. And I mean, a lot of people consider him the best ball playing cornerback in the draft. So, I mean, having a D line like this that can get after the passer and can kind of create those errant throws and rush throws and giving him the ability to play the ball and do what he does best, I think that's huge. And also, if the reports are true that he really did bulk up to 180 pounds, that's huge because, I mean, will he play there? I don't know. But I mean, anything's better than the 160 he was playing at, apparently. So
yeah, and the one thing about Forbes is that when you go and watch his film, he doesn't get targeted a lot. And I think a lot is that said to the fact of how well he does in coverage and his play style, obviously. But the one thing about him that separates him from a lot of the other corners like Deonte Banks and others, he's very open and embraces contact. He searches for it. And that's what you need out of a corner. Because I said this many times. You have to be able to draft a corner to feel comfortable with that guy. Let's say you're on the goal line. You're on the 5-yard line. It's January. It's cold. You need a stop. It's third down, and they run a sweep to the outside with the running back. Can you guarantee, do you feel comfortable with that cornerback coming up and making a play, having that ability to come up and stop that guy? And Emmanuel Forbes is that kind of player, and he's the better kind of all-around. I just thought him and Gonzalez were very similar in that sort of way. I thought Devin Witherspoon was more of like a more versatile piece, but Emmanuel Forbes obviously offers what Gonzalez does. Maybe the difference here is scheme fit, just based on what they want to do with one another and how they would translate. Really excited to see what they say about it. But look, I felt like they were very similar, and I'm not going to be mad at it just based on the last name. I think that these guys are very similar, and I'm excited about this because I've said from the get-go I wanted a lockdown corner, and that's what we just got in Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah, this is a defense that's lacked big plays on defense as far as the takeaways go. And this is what Emmanuel Forbes has done since high school. He's done it in college. I think he had 14 career interceptions, and he took 6 of them back to the house. The way that he reads route concepts and reads the receiver's routes, reads the quarterback's eyes, reads route combinations, understands route concepts and whatnot, can play the zone, can get physical at the line, play man on you. So I love the pick, and hopefully he can bulk up a little bit, stay healthy. Hey, look at all the hog farmers on TV. Look at Keith. And, hopefully he can stay healthy, and hopefully he provides what he's been doing in college, which is that playmaking, take the ball away ability.
Yep, 6 foot, 181 pounds. He is a junior. And this does go against what everyone has been saying about Ron Rivera and company not going after a corner in the first round under 180 pounds. I, for one, am happy it is not Brian Branch. I like the idea of Brian Branch just for that nickel opinion, but I wanted the outside corner lockdown ability, and I'm so happy we are able to get that. Because I thought that maybe we'd have to wait to the second round in order to get somebody like that just based on how the offensive line went. But it looks like maybe like a guy like Matthew Bergeron is who they're going to target in the second round. Surprised they didn't trade back. Everyone and their mother thought they were going to trade back. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Are you happy? Let's rewind the tape about 10 minutes and see what Kyle said when I said, what if we take Emmanuel Forbes over Christian Gonzalez? No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's kind of one of those things, too, where it's like the Commanders have proven this,
right.
And they've proven this time and time again that, like, they're not scared to take somebody that they think deserves to, like Jahan Dotson, Jamin Davis, all these guys. That's who they want. That's who they kind of zone in on, and that's who they're going to take. So there's a reason that Christian Gonzalez is falling. Like, it's not just a Commanders thing. Obviously, the media, probably one of those cases where the media was higher on him than a lot of the teams, and I think that's kind of clear. That's what's showing. I mean, like we talked about, Ryan Fowler literally told us just 2 weeks ago that the Carolina had Emmanuel Forbes as their second-ranked corner.
That's what I was gonna say. A lot of the people that are plugged in on the draft and like plugged in with the team, Schrager and all them, they had Forbes on the list of guys that were gonna go a lot earlier than fans and people thought. So him going at 16 kind of makes sense.
Yeah. It definitely does.
Yeah, and Ian Rappaport is saying that the soon-to-be owner, Josh Harris, was not involved in the selection, but the review process is moving along very rapidly. Could be sent to the finance committee soon. the Commanders sit and pick, obviously, Mississippi State, Emmanuel Forbes, their guy all along, and nobody had any idea. Let me go back real quick.
Christian Gonzalez to the Patriots next pick. By the way. All right, keep going.
Yep.
Sorry, Kyle.
No, it makes sense. I mean, Bill, I guess the screwed up thing is that obviously the Patriots felt comfortable with moving behind the Commanders because they knew something there.
Yeah. Now we're gonna have to wait and see, like, for the rest of, like, for the next 4 or 5 years, we're gonna keep an eye on Christian Gonzalez and see how he does in comparison to Emmanuel Forbes.
All right, now I'm just trying to go back to Ken Johansson's article where he lays out all of the meetings that have gone out around for the Commanders, and I definitely want to check to see
the first hate tweet.
What is it?
Rant Burgundy. Ron Rivera just drafted the NFL version of Muggsy Bogues to cover A.J. Brown and C.D. Lamb.
Bro,
That's
do some research a little bit. That is funny, but
it's not like he wasn't guarding tall, big receivers in college on the SEC.
Yeah, but, like, it's not like he didn't bulk up either. It's not like he doesn't play the ball well or anything. You know. But anyway, go off, King.
Detroit did take Gonzalez. Oh, damn.
No, Detroit didn't take Gonzalez.
Oh, it's the Patriots. My bad.
Patriots did. Yeah.
Good. Yep. That's a good pick by Bill. He usually does a good job there, but I'm siding just like how last year I don't want to be in that Jahan Dotson territory. But I guess, maybe I'm just wrong. Just not seeing something right. Who knows? But I know I really liked Emmanuel Forbes. I wanted him in that kind of 20 to 30 range.
He was somebody. I mean, when we thought Gonzalez wasn't going to be there, he was somebody that we were saying like he'd be completely okay if we took him.
Okay, here we go. Now I got it. I found it finally. The colonel just texted me and said, "We just highly effed up."
Oh my god.
Hey, look, I just want to say this.
Hey, everyone said the same thing about Dotson last year.
And Olave, right, and Garrett Wilson and stuff. And look, I totally get it. I understand, but we do have to put in the context that we don't know how these guys are going to go in our system. Maybe the interview process was different. Not sure. Because I've always said the interview is the most important thing in the interview in the whole draft process.
And Colonel, for that, the rebuttal to that, Mitch Tishler just put out for a team ranked bottom 5 in interceptions last season. Yeah. The Commander just went out and got a ball hawk corner who set the NCAA record for pick sixes last season.
They did have a top 30 visit with Emmanuel Forbes. And remember what Ken told us that 2 years ago, they scouted linebackers more than anything. Last season, they scouted wide receivers more than anything. They took those two respective positions in the first round. They scouted offensive tackles more than any other position this season. So that is very telling that they went against the grain this year and did the opposite. So obviously, Ron Rivera knows of his tendencies here, and that's very telling to say the least. I'm going to try to find the corners here to see what other meetings that they had with Emmanuel Forbes. Hold on. Can you guys say something at least?
Yeah, I'm texting. Sorry, dog.
What are you guys doing?
I was replying to somebody. It said Ron Rivera is the dumbest coach of all time because he passed on Christian Gonzalez.
Dude, I love.
It's like, well, there must be 15 other head coaches that are just as dumb as him. They passed on him too.
Give it an hour or give it a day. Everybody's gonna be like, actually, you know what? I'm kind of okay with the Emmanuel Forbes pick. After looking a little bit more into it.
Oh gosh, I just watched he just read Will Levis like a book.
Yeah, was he?
Oh my gosh!
Like on the football field, or like? Yeah, did he know what he was gonna say?
So they met with.
Are you talking about that screenplay?
They had a combine informal meeting. They had a pro day meeting and a top 30 visit with Emmanuel Forbes. They did their due diligence, but it wasn't like the overall aspect of it. But you're trying to find consistencies here. And they did not meet with Christian Gonzalez as much as they met with Emmanuel Forbes. That could have been an indicator right there. I'm not going to say I'm blown.
And Russell even said this afternoon, too. I listened to him, and he said Emmanuel Forbes, I guess whoever he talked to, he said, fits the Commanders better. So why go with a round hole in a square peg if you can find that round peg to go in there? If Forbes meets it, man. Let's give him a chance.
I think it was Steve, the Air Raid Concepts dude, who put out a thing today talking about how Emmanuel Forbes isn't a fit, and Emmanuel Forbes, like, we shouldn't be taking Emmanuel Forbes. And I mean, I know nothing against Steve. Steve does a great job breaking down film and analyzing prospects and all that. I really love following Steve. Steve's very good at that. But I thought Emmanuel Forbes did kind of fit what we did, but I get it. I mean, people were a little nervous about his size, but I think him bulking up a little bit's sure to help. And hey, like Mitch Tisler said, man, we finished bottom of the NFL, towards the bottom of the NFL in turnovers. You get the best ball playing cornerback in the draft. Yes, a few of his interceptions came off of tip passes, still putting himself in the right position to make those plays and making a play.
You got to be there to get the interception. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
All I'll say is I am very surprised that with the way everything went down with the offensive line last season and the first pick goes to corner. You know, I am very surprised by that because
because the guy they wanted was already gone. Yeah. So they're probably going to their next group in the offensive lineman in the second round.
Mm-hmm. It's the way the board shaped out. I'm sure if Darnell Wright or even Broderick Jones or Paris Johnson, I know that they really like Paris Johnson apparently. I think if any of those guys were there, which Paris Johnson wasn't going to be, but I think it would have been a little bit different, but they looked at it, saw the way that the board fell, and we're like, well, do need a corner. And they do. They did make some.
We knew it was going to be O-line, corner, O-line. So
yeah, we knew it was going to be. As long as they went one of those two, it was like we'll be fine with that. As long as it wasn't like
Yeah. Pressure. So the one thing I will say is like let's put ourselves in the war room, right? Like we're in the situation room now. Like let's say this whole time they have been infatuated with Emmanuel Forbes because they realistically did not believe Christian Gonzalez was going to fall to them. So let's say now that Christian Gonzalez falls to them, do you go against your gut, what you thought all along because you thought Christian Gonzalez wasn't going to be available, or do you go with Christian Gonzalez? And that's kind of where I am at, where I say I can understand why they maintain with Emmanuel Forbes.
I don't even think it was that. I think that they just probably had Emmanuel Forbes rated higher than Gonzalez. But like we said, we heard about Ryan Fowler talking about he knows for a fact Carolina had Emmanuel Forbes as the second rated cornerback in this draft. That was probably behind Witherspoon based off of, how high he went. So I think that they really liked Emmanuel Forbes. I think it was, again, like I said, I think it was one of those cases where the NFL is higher on a prospect than a lot of the media is, and that happens every year. It always happens. So
look at Jahmyr Gibbs going, like whatever 12th pick, whatever it was. Like I came out of nowhere. So
dog, go to bed. What are you doing?
Like you said, like the people can only be plugged in so much behind closed doors. The NFL executives, GMs, and all of them are saying a whole nother thing. So.
Whew. Wow, I am so shocked.
It's going to be interesting to see why Gonzalez slipped this far, though, honestly.
Yeah, I am too. But one thing I will say is that Bill Belichick does know corners very well.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a freaking factory when it comes to corners,
And look, if Bill Belichick if we would have took Gonzalez and he takes Forbes, and all of a sudden Forbes is like a ball hawk for them, people would be applauding Bill Belichick for taking Forbes. Right. So, it's got to go both ways.
And I'm sure Belichick was thinking, like, if they because you kind of get a sense of what some teams are going to do. I'm sure he was thinking, if they take Gonzalez, we'll take Forbes.
Now, let's talk about, guys, what we expect, how we expect Emmanuel Forbes to fit in with this defense. When I talked to AWAD on the radio at the end of the season, the reason why I wanted a lockdown corner is because I felt like it opened up everything else for the defenders, especially the edge rushers. Because what did the Giants do to us with Daniel Jones? They just bled us to death, death by 1,000 cuts.
Damn, Jack Campbell just went?
Yeah, Jack Campbell to the Lions.
To the Lions.
Good,
damn. Hey, dude.
I like him.
Hey, right now we're killing that draft, dude. The red zone, the 54th draft. I took Jack Campbell. Yeah, I took Jack Campbell.
By we, I mean you.
Yeah, dude, I'm killing that crap, dude.
I know. I'm saying, yeah.
I'm in the plus right now.
I wasn't involved. I wouldn't have taken Stetson Bennett, but anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
That's why we're about to win, dog. It's all
Hell
good.
Yeah. Give me that money.
But basically with Emmanuel Forbes, this allows you the ability to play that press man, to have that ability there where an offense is not as open to hitting those slant routes and others. So Emmanuel Forbes changes the defense in order to allow Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jerome Payne, and Jonathan Allen time to be able to get after the quarterback. That was one of the biggest issues last season. The offense just getting the ball out too quickly because Kendall cannot play press man a lot. He cannot do it. It's not in his game at the moment. And so Emmanuel Forbes adding to this not only adds the long-term effect of having the opposite corner of Benjamin St-Juste, but obviously offers more depth and more production for the defense as a whole. I want a lockdown corner. This is what I got. Not going to say I'm angry. I am kind of weirded out by the Gonzalez rating, but if they're going with gut, if they're going with feel with what they know, what they talked about this guy, they love the interview process, then I'm all for it, dude. I'm with it and I get it. And obviously, if they saw something wrong with Gonzalez, then I trust them at this point.
Yeah, real fast. Tampa already got their pick in. That was pretty fast. They got to be taking Levis here, I would imagine. Right?
All right. Well, I got to dip.
Yep.
I'm trying to go to bed.
All right. Anything else? Anything else?
Nah, look. I like the pick.
Dassey.
You got to see what they're going to do in the second round. They're probably going to go offensive lineman. We'll see who it is and where they go. But,
yeah.
I mean, like I said, can't be mad at the pick. He's a playmaker. He's a ball hawk.
You know, I love how the Emmanuel Forbes pick completely killed this vibe. Tonight, we're all laughing and joking. I like the pick. I'm not mad about it. It's just funny how that happened.
Here's a NFL.com compared him to Cam Dantzler.
No way.
So I mean,
that's funny.
Guy we got on the roster already. So
yep.
I mean, come on.
Two of them damn dancelers.
Yeah.
That's what I get for talking about Gonzo so much.
Yeah, it is. I in the back of my head, I was like, something's good. Kyle's way too.
Ron was watching us in the war room.
So
and he's
Tampa
like,
Bay,
nope.
Tampa Bay took Kalijah Cansey. Wow.
Really? Okay. Good. Go off, King. Go off, King.
Could if Seattle don't take Will Levis, he might slip out the first round.
He very well could.
Absolutely. Everybody who has been along with us for this journey, I appreciate you guys for coming along with us. We're all surprised, but I think we're all happy with the overall fact that they went and got a ball hawk. They got a lockdown corner, someone they can add into this defense to really capitalize on things. I'm very interested to see how tomorrow plays out, especially round 3 as well. Maybe a trade back is there at 47. That way they could get more picks in the third round, possibly. Because maybe they're not as high on the offensive line as we are. But look, we really appreciate you guys for sticking by and being with us. We'll see you again on Monday. Corey, I can't thank you enough for joining us, brother. It's always a blast you join us.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Of course, man. We got to be at work tomorrow. I'm thinking about calling out. I'm not really sure.
Dude, I got to get up at 6:30. We got a golf tournament at work.
What'd you say?
Emmanuel Forbes, is he down that bad right now? I'm thinking about calling out of work tomorrow.
Oh, no. I was already thinking about doing that beforehand. I just didn't say anything to anybody.
Well, now that you put it out there, let's hope that none of your bosses watch this stream.
I mean, it's 10:30. They shouldn't be up.
Yeah,
they were being honest.
They try calling out too.
Hey, no, seriously though, I'm really happy with this selection. Emmanuel Forbes is one of the guys on my list. I really like this kid. I'm just kind of weirded out with the structure of it all. But look, they're gonna explain themselves. I'm sure they will. And I think last year they proved that they deserve the benefit of the doubt in that breath. And so for that being said, Emmanuel Forbes, welcome to the family, baby. Let's get this going.
Hey, let's make a Forbes list, right? That's a thing, isn't it, about rich people? So is Dan Snyder going to be on the Forbes list?
Oh, dude.
Whoa.
He's getting $6 billion.
All right, everybody.
Who's
that?
That's going to wrap us up for this episode.
He does not be named.
I'm Kyle.
The chosen one. I am the chosen one. I am the Juggle King, King of the Juggalos.
And we will see you guys on Monday. Have a great, safe weekend. Washington football.
Listen to me, my juggalettes. I'm going to take off in the Jugglecopter.
Stupid.
All right.